So here's the solution to the work that I gave you on Wednesday. Okay, so you're asked to remove the brackets and simplify. Also, remove the brackets means that bit there, they could have written multiply, and the other word they could have written was expand. Okay, so when you have this, you recognize the fact that the square means that you have two of these. So you write out 5p plus 1, 5p plus 1. Okay, then you have two brackets, so you apply the rule of split the first, multiply by the second. So you take this, and we're going to write it down here. And then we take this, and we're going to split it up. So we're going to write it over here. Okay, and then after the first part, we write the second bracket in full. And after the second part, we write the second bracket in full. The second bracket gets written twice. Okay, so now you're going to take this and you're going to multiply it distributively across the two parts of this bracket. And then we're going to take this and we're going to multiply it distributively across the two parts of the second bracket. So here I have 5 by 5 is 25 and 2p's is p squared. This 5p doesn't have a sign, which means it's positive. So it's a plus with a plus, same signs is plus. 5 by 1 is 5, and then we have the p. Okay, moving on to the pink bracket. This is a plus here. So signs are the same, which means my answer is going to be plus. Numbers, 1 by 5 is 5, and the only letter here is p. And then the last one is the plus 1 and the plus 1. So signs are the same again, so the answer is a plus, and 1 by 1 is 1. Okay, so I have now removed the brackets, so I have to go to the simplify part. So I have a p squared, I have a p, I have another one, and then I have a 1. Okay, so the p squared is on its own, so we just write it down. Can't be combined with anything else. The 5p can be combined with this 5p to make 10p. And then the 1 is on its own. Alright, so that's that first one. Keep going. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing here. Just different numbers. So recognize the square means that you've got two of them, so you write it twice. Okay, so then we're going to take this, we're going to write it over there. We're going to take this, and we're going to write it over here. So we're going to split up that first bracket. So the 3y goes here, and the minus 2 goes here. Second bracket then gets written after the 3y, and it gets written again after the minus 2. Okay, so now we have the 3y, which we're going to distribute across the first bracket, and the minus 2 we're going to distribute across the second bracket. Okay, 3 by 3 is 9, and there's two y's, which is y squared. This 3y is positive, so we have a plus and a minus. That's different signs, which means your answer is going to be negative. 3 by 2 is 6, and only this has a letter, so it's just y. Here, this 3y is positive, so it's minus and a plus, which is different signs, so our answer is minus again. 2 by 3 is 6, and then the y. And then the last multiplication is the minus 2 and the minus 2. So the signs are the same here, which means the answer is positive, and 2 by 2 is 4. Okay, so now we will go to simplifying. Y squared is on its own, there's 2 y's, and then the 4 is on its own. So leave the 9y squared on its own. Now here we have minus 6 for the y's. That's minus 12 as your total for the y's, and then plus 4. That's the answer to the second one. Okay, so now so the language changed here back to multiply out and simplify. Okay, so we have one bracket by another bracket, which means we employ the rule of split the first. So I'm splitting it off. So I'm going to write the 5y here. And I'm going to write the minus 2 over here. Okay, so split the first. Multiply by the second. So after the 5y, I'm going to put in the second bracket. 4y squared minus 2y minus 3. And after the minus 2, I'm going to put in the second bracket. 4y squared minus 2y minus 3. Okay, so same thing. We take the 5y and we distribute it across the bracket. It just so happens now that instead of 2 multiplication, there is 1, 2, 3 multiplications. And same here, minus 2 gets distributed across the bracket. 1, 2, 3 multiplications are going to be required. Okay, so 4 by 5 is 20. And then we have a y here and we have 2 of them here. So in total that is 3 y's, y cubed. Next then, this 5y is positive, so we're multiplying the 5y and the minus 2y. So those signs are different, which means the answer is going to be minus. The numbers are 5 times 2, which is 10. And there's a y here and there's a y here, which means there's 2 of them. So y squared. Okay, and then the last multiplication is the plus 5y with the minus 3. So different signs, plus and minus, makes minus. 5 by 3 is 15, and then only this has a y, so just a y there. Alright, that's the yellow bracket done and dusted, so we'll move on to the pink one. This is positive, so minus 2 multiplied by 4y squared, the signs are different, so minus 2 by 4 is 8, and then the 2 doesn't have a letter, so you just have your y squared. Okay, so now we're going to do this minus 2 with this minus 2y. So the signs are the same, they're both minuses, which means the answer is going to be positive. 2 by 2 is 4, and then again the 2 doesn't have a y, so it's just the y that's here. So just the one of them. And then your last multiplication is the minus 2 and the minus 3. So the signs are the same again, which means your answer is positive, and 2 by 3 is 6. Okay, so I have multiplied out, I have removed the brackets. So let's simplify. So I have a y cubed. I just have the 1. I have a y squared and I have another one. I have a y and I have another one. And pick another colour. The 6 is there, just by itself, the constant. Alright, so the 20y cubed stays in its own. Now my squareds are in green. So I have minus 10 minus 8, which is minus 18 y squared. My y's are in orange, so minus 15 plus 4 is minus 11y, and then plus 6. Okay, and then the last one, so I put this in kind of because it sort of messed with it a little bit, and I just wanted to see if you'd be able to decide what to do, I suppose. Okay, the bracket is split, or the rule is split the first, multiply by the second. So I'm going to take the 3a squared and I'm going to write it down here. I'm going to take the minus 4a and I'm going to write it here, and then I'm going to take the 1 and I'm going to write it here. So I'm splitting off that first bracket. The 3a squared, the minus 4a, and the plus 1. And then after the first one, I'm going to write in that second bracket. After the second one, I'm going to write in the bracket. And after the third one, I'm going to write in the bracket. Okay, so until now, when we split the first bracket, there was only 2 things in it, so we just split up those 2 things. But you can split up as many things as you want. So there I split it up into 3 bits. Okay, and that's fine. It just means that the second bracket has to be written 3 times. It has to be written once for every split. All right, so 3a will distribute on this bracket. The minus 4a will distribute on this bracket. And the 1 will distribute on that bracket. Okay, so 3 by 3 is 9. I have a squared here and a here, so that means I have 2 here and 1 here, making 3 of them. And this is positive, so I'm multiplying the plus 3a squared by the minus 1. Signs are different, which means my answer will be negative. 3 by 1 is 3, and then I have the a squared. Right, move on to the pink bracket. So this 3a is positive. So the signs are different for this multiplication, so the answer is negative. 4 by 3 is 12, and then there's an a here and an a here, which means I have 2 of them, which is a squared. The minus 4a and the minus 1, the signs are the same, so the answer is going to be plus. 4 by 1 is 4, and then only the 4 has a letter, so you just write the a down. Move on to the blue. We're multiplying the plus 1 and the plus 3a, so the signs are the same, which means the answer is positive. 1 by 3 is 3, and then your a. And then the last multiplication is the plus 1 and the minus 1. So the signs are different, so minus. 1 by 1 is 1, and there's no letters. Right, so I have 9a cubed all by itself. I have a squared and I have another a squared. I have an a and another a. And all by itself then I have a minus 1. Okay, so the a cubed is in green and it has nothing to combine with, so it just stays as it is. The a squared here in orange, it's minus 3 minus 12, which is minus 15 a squared. The a's here are 4 and 3, so that's plus 7 for the a's, and then the constant is all by itself, so just leave it alone. Okay, so there are all your solutions. So will you go through your work, red or green pen, fix what's wrong? If you understand your mistake, if it's just a stupid little mistake like you missed the signs or you multiplied 2 by 4 and got 6, whatever, that's absolutely fine. Fix it. I would make a note, as in I'd write down always multiply, or I'd give yourself a little reminder so that it doesn't happen again, but that's absolutely fine. My issue is with the people who get their answer wrong, and then when they see my answer they don't understand why they're wrong and I'm right. And there's also a chance that I'm wrong, in which case obviously I need to know because I need to fix it. But please let me know if you have an incorrect answer, and when you see my answer, if my answer is correct and you don't understand why you're wrong, you need to let me know. I'm doing a live class with the first years, a couple of first years today, who are having issues with the work we're doing at the moment. Okay, so all it takes is an email, and then I'll get a few people together. I think the class today there's like 11 people in it who are struggling with the content. Okay, so if there's anything you're struggling with, please let me know. Okay, I'm not going to have time to go over all this next year. So I know you're learning it in a strange manner, but you're probably not going to learn it again. So I need to make sure that you understand it. Okay?